Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
They're polite. They just take the time for you.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
I like the Angels for what they've done for me.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks as always to the producer of our series, Jeff Durall. We're at the Sternberg Museum of Natural History in Hayes and at the Howard Reynolds Nature Trail. Dr. Howard Reynolds Nature Trail, which we'll find out more about a little bit later on, with the Education Director at the Sternberg Museum of Natural History, David Levering, as we talk about some of the events at Sternberg for the summer of 2016, as well as some summer camps that David's going to be offering to students. Camps have been a big hit in just a short time, according to the news release from University Relations Office. For this summer's high school paleontology camp, David already has commitments from students from California and Michigan, and parents from Georgia, New York, and Maine have inquired about the camp. It's become a pretty big hit, hasn't it, David?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of interest from around the state of Kansas as well as other states around the country. And I think right now, since that press release was put out, we've got 2 kids from California, Michigan, Illinois, Maine, Oklahoma. So yeah, we're pulling them in from a pretty good distance to come and do some science outdoors with us this summer.
Give us some of the details of the camp, would you, David?
Yeah, sure. So the high school paleontology camp, we spend a good amount of time out in the field with the kids, showing them how to actually do paleontology field work, getting them familiar with how to kind of orient themselves with the rocks and how to recognize fossils, as well as a lot of the tools that we use to get those fossils out of the ground, how to do it safely, both for themselves and for the fossils, which are pretty breakable. And also for recording information, which is a really important part of doing paleontology. If you just tear it out of the ground, it's not really very useful for scientists. You have to take a lot of notes, which is new to a lot of students because they're young and they haven't done it before. But we train them up pretty well on those points.
And you're on site for this, and you're actually doing site locations at fossil fields.
Yeah, so our curator of paleontology, Dr. Laura Wilson, who's also faculty over at the university, kind of gets us set up with field sites during the rest of the year, and then when summer rolls around, we kind of figure out where it is we're going to go and what would be a project that would be good for the summer camp students to work on. I think this summer we're working on a big fossil fish that she's kind of set aside for us to work on.
And do you have a class size maximum on this, David?
Yeah, so all of the high school camps and the middle school camps, the high school camps have a maximum of 10 students, and that's because we have a 12-passenger van.
And you also have camps, though, for middle schoolers and elementary students as well.
Yeah, so the middle schoolers, we take them out in the field also. It's not quite as academically or physically intense as we do with the high school students. We push the high schoolers pretty hard. Middle schoolers is more about just getting them outside. We go camping, we go look at some fun things outdoors and just kind of get them excited and teach them some stuff along the way. And we've got a pretty solid group of returners from our middle school programs this year also. Pretty much, I think about half of our middle school paleo group from last summer is coming back this year.
Now, for information on these camps, the Sternberg website would give that information, David?
Yeah, so that's sternberg.fhsu.edu.
And these camps also, thanks to some support, there is financial aid available to students who might not be able to afford it.
Yeah, so we have a lot of really generous folks from around Kansas who have donated money to support financial aid for these programs to make it easier for students who might not normally be able to attend to come hang out with us during the summer and remove some of those financial costs.
Well, David, as an educator, what do you see advantages to students? Why are these camps important for students to attend?
I think that we start them with the elementary camps, and we've got a professional science educator that we're bringing in from Wilson High School over in Wilson to run the elementary camps this year, and she's been working with me on getting those set up. We have people who are excited and passionate about what they're doing, and this kind of work with students between either staff that I'm hiring or just myself or our research staff here at the museum who are working with these students to get them excited about science, be it biology, geology, paleontology, and we get the kids outside doing stuff. Even with the elementary camps, we really emphasize getting them outdoors, and I think that that's something that is lost a lot this day and age, is getting students outside, getting their hands dirty and actually seeing how it works, as opposed to like watching a video online or even just or even reading about it, which when I was a kid was mostly what I did before I started doing field camps. It's really valuable experience. It pushes the students, especially when we talk about the high school camps, to think about things in new ways and to broaden their idea of what this area of science they're interested in actually is. So in that regard, the skills and the experience and the challenges that we provide the students, I think, is really where they get the most benefit out of it. And we've gotten a lot of really good feedback from our participants about those parts.
Well, and I know something that's near and dear to you, David, is just getting the young people outside and expose them to nature itself and the value that nature brings to all of us. Yeah,
it's something where I've said frequently in the past, people don't value or people don't protect things and look after things that they don't value, and they don't value things that they don't know about. And so if we're going to have a generation that is going to continue pushing for caring for the natural systems of the planet, we need them to actually get outside and see it and not just think of it as some abstract thing that exists on the internet, but they've never actually gotten out into. And so I think that it's really important to push that really hard and make sure that we're getting students outside.
So once again, for those summer camps that parents might be interested in, the website again, David?
Sternberg.fhsu.edu.
Well, it's summertime, and that means the tourist season is going to be increasing the numbers for Sternberg Museum. What will tourists be seeing this year?
We have a couple of different art exhibits coming through over the course of the summer. Right now, we have Archaeopteryx bringing fossils, or Archaeopteryx Dinosaurs Take Flight, which is an exhibit all about the feathered dinosaur Archaeopteryx, and it has a lot of really neat paleo art depicting sculptures and paintings and sketches of different feathered dinosaurs, mostly Archaeopteryx, and focusing on different paleo artists that have worked on these things. So it's a really neat blend of exploring how artists recreate prehistoric animals that are no longer with us, as well as looking at this very famous feathered dinosaur that really kicked off the idea that there was a strong relationship between dinosaurs and birds.
And I remember one of the art exhibits that was at Sternberg here has probably been a year ago, I suppose now, that really art and nature connect so very well together.
It's a really good way to get the general public connected to nature. We can put it up on display in the museum, people can come and see it. It's a way of sparking that interest and getting people to kind of care about these things. Hopefully then that will get them interested in actually going out and maybe seeing some of these things themselves. In the case of paleo art, it's a little harder because they're all gone, but it still provides a kind of a portal for people to see these things as they are in life or as they were in life when they were still around.
What got David Levering interested in nature and paleontology and work in the museum?
Paleontology was a dinosaur book that one of my uncles got me, I think when I was 3 or 4, and that really did it. So I'm one of those kids.
Was there a mentor? Was there a teacher? Was there somebody who really pushed that or exposed you to it? Maybe might be a better way to say it.
I was a pretty self-driven kid as far as my interest in dinosaurs up until college, and then once I got there, I had actually a lot of graduate students, more than anything else, who I worked with during my bachelor's degree at University of Oregon, who were very inspiring and kind of pushing me like, okay, you're interested, now go do grown-up things. Like, it's great being interested, now go actually do something with it. And then beyond that, I've had a lot of very inspirational figures and mentors. I should mention like other faculty, Dr. Hopkins and Dr. Davis at University of Oregon, who are doing neat things over there, which I'm trying to pull parts away from that and use that in my interactions, especially with high school students here in the camps, and getting them interested in pursuing life and earth sciences in their own pursuits as careers or academic or whatever.
And you're still seeing a lot of interest in dinosaurs with young people, aren't you?
Yeah, we get a lot of interest in dinosaurs. Not as much as I honestly expected, though, amongst the kids that are interested in paleontology that come out. We definitely get some kids that are really fascinated with dinosaurs and all that, but we've gotten kids that are really interested in marine fossils that have nothing to do with dinosaurs. We've gotten students that are very interested and incredibly advanced for high school students in fossil mammals, which is something that I had never seen before I really started running these camps. I'd met a lot of other students when I was growing up going to camps that were also like dinosaur nerd kids. But it's been neat to see the diversity of interest, and I think that that's something that we have the internet to thank for, is because these students have access to things that just weren't around 15 years ago.
We've got a couple of minutes left in our community connection, David. Would you tell us about the Dr. Howard Reynolds Nature Trail for us?
Yeah, so we have a pretty good stretch of nature trails here at the museum, which I encourage everybody to come check out this summer. As it warms up a bit, we have all kinds of really cool wildlife that you'll be able to see out here, especially if you come early in the morning. You can see a lot of bird life out here. We take the students out, or in the previous years I've taken the elementary school students out here just to look for wildlife and stuff during the camps. And we've seen all kinds of birds. I think last year we saw a kestrel chasing down some sparrows and things like that. If you go down by the pond, which is further down the trail in the stand of trees, you can see frogs and turtles and all kinds of fish. It's a really cool place. And if you have kids or grandkids that are really interested in anything that has to do with nature, or if they just need to run off some energy, it's a great place to come and visit.
How about wildflowers and vegetation and such?
Yeah, so if you come during the summer, the flowers you're going to see are going to really vary depending on what time of year. I've been out here at times where it's a rainbow, and other times where it's not raining as much, it's a little drier and it's not quite as colorful, but you still see a lot of different animals and stuff like that skittering around. So yeah, if you're into wildflowers, it's also a pretty neat place you can come in and check out.
I always like to mention the Sternberg gift shop too, to be able to browse through that. Brad's always got something going on in there.
Yeah, we've got some pretty cool stuff in there. We've got some really neat art prints right now, actually, that are associated with the Archaeopteryx exhibit. So if you see a painting up in that exhibit that you're like, that's awesome, I wish I could put that on my wall, check out the store. We probably have a print of it. If we don't, tell the folks in the store we can get custom prints from the folks that run this exhibit. So yeah, definitely check out the store when you come by. We've got a lot of cool stuff in there right now.
Education Director for the Sternberg Museum of Natural History, David Levering, our Community Connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
And the Angel Care nurse comes to see me once a week.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
Angel Care has helped to stay home.
Angels Care Home Health, We serve patients.